Welcome to the Nerdist Podcast number 663. This episode of the Nerdist Podcast is brought to you by Marvel's Daredevil, available on Netflix. I watched the first I binge watched the first 4 episodes. I don't know if 4 episodes counts as binge watching, but technically it's binging.
But a lot.
It's like I watched the first 4 episodes, and the show will suck you in the first 30 seconds. Like the opening scene of the show is great. And Charlie Cox is fantastic.
Everyone has been posting about it on Facebook, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to.
It's really great. It's basically, and Vincent D'Onofrio's in it, and Deborah Ann Woll, who's
I love him so much.
Fantastic. He's great. Everyone on the show is great, and as a matter of fact, no lie, as soon as I'm done recording the intro for this podcast, I'm going to Lydia's place, and we're eating food and watching Daredevil.
Nice.
She watched it first, and she was like, "You have to watch Daredevil," and so she rewatched the first episode with me. And Sunday, when I got home from Wisconsin, we watched 4 episodes until it was late, and we couldn't stay awake anymore. So, it's fantastic. There's 13 original episodes. They all went up at once on Netflix. Watch them now. You will not be sorry. It's really, 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 really good. It's time for the Nerdist Community Corkboard. All right, I'll say my thing first, and while you're pulling up some stuff for things that you want to put. The Fun Comfortable Tour is well underway. My dear friend April Richardson and I, she's opening for me on the road and crushing it. We had some great shows in Milwaukee and Madison this weekend. The show's coming up April 24th, Columbus, Ohio. First show sold out. Late show has some tickets. April 25th, Atlanta. First show sold out. 10:30 show has some tickets. May 1st, Boston. 7:30 and 10. A few tickets left for that. May 2nd in New York. I believe there are tickets for the late show, 10:30. Then Milwaukee, Detroit, Philly. DC, Comic-Con, Orlando, Tampa, Sacramento, San Jose, Houston, Dallas, Austin, Buffalo, Toronto, Baltimore, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Kansas City. That takes you to the end of the year. Go to funcomfortabletour.com. But it's been really fun.
And you have to find donuts in all those places, too.
I've been finding donuts. Well, because what I've been doing is it's very difficult to... especially when you're doing 2 shows, and now that the venues are bigger, I can't really do a meet and greet in between the shows because they have to turn the room around. And doing meet and greets after the shows is...
You make them stay there very long.
Then the staff has to stay, and so it's like I'm trying to make everybody happy. And so the solution that I came up with was, in a lot of these cities, if I'm not completely wrecked from traveling that day... we'll find a late-night donut shop somewhere, and I'll just say, like, hey, like in Minneapolis, we're going to Glamdal Donuts afterwards, and we went to Glamdal. Yeah, they're open until 1, and they stayed open later for us.
Oh, there you go.
Got there at 12:30, and a bunch of people showed up, and I took pictures and signed stuff, and we ate donuts, and it was
awesome.
It was way better than just like being in the lobby of a theater and just like marching everyone one at a time. Like
there's donuts.
It was much more social, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's something that I will try to do in more cities as I am able to. What do you got out there in the Nerdist community?
William Hack, who calls himself a starving artist in Portland, Oregon, he wants to entertain you with his books, not those wordy word books you see in stores, but with comic strips and satire publications. Remember your favorite video game magazine? Well, check out Video Game 01 magazine, based on faux modern gaming console capable of bad Atari-era graphics. Like comics about an adorable sociopath, you'll love the Bad Kitty books. You can find all his books, he has over 20 of them, on Amazon.com if you just search William Hack. He says there's something for everyone.
Fantastic.
And, yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah. And then Maria Shakro? I have no idea how to pronounce your last name, Maria. You have an Etsy shop, and she sells handcrafted totes, pencil bags, necklaces, and more. I looked at them, and they're really great. Like, she makes these really cool, like pencil bags that you can use for anything, but they're really cool.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
If you want to have your event added, you can go to events@nerdist.com or go to the new Nerdist.com interface and sign up and start putting some of your events in the comment threads of the podcast, and we'll get to them as we can. But it's been good, and I hope this has been helping people expose their thing. Expose their thing? I mean, share their.
Don't expose your thing.
Don't expose your thing. Share your event, unless your thing is your event. No, still.
That's a weird event.
By the way, we do have a winner of the Marvel Movie Marathon, April 20th and 21st at the El Capitan Theater. Listener with username Team Lowry won with the comment, I've sat for 72 hours once, Marvel Marathon. We have another pair still available to win by watching today's episode of The Dan Cave on Nerdist.com. That's Dan Casey's show. Dan is very funny, and Dan has the perfect dry sense of humor. Because it's so I love where his jokes go, and he'll just fire off like 3 jokes when you think he's done with a sentence, and he sneaks them in, kind of like Indiana Jones getting under the wall coming down.
And then grabs his hat.
And he grabs his hat, yeah. So, Dan Casey, I love you, and you're doing damn good work over at the Dan Cave over on Nerdist.com. This episode is Sarah Colonna, who I knew from doing stand-up before, and then I did Chelsea Lately with her a bunch, and she's been on At Midnight, but she's really cool and really funny, and she has a new book called Has Anyone Seen My Pants?, which is now available anywhere books are sold. So wherever that might be, a brick and mortar place, or a digital or a pixel and more code place.
That's the opposite of brick and mortar.
That's what I was brick and pixel and code.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's technically so it works, right? Pixel and code.
Pixel and
it's
code.
a pixel and code store.
I think you should start that. Get everyone to say it. You just keep. If you start saying it enough, everyone will start saying it.
Or they'll tell me to shut the fuck up.
Nope.
Brick
and mortar had to start somewhere.
Well, speaking of a pixel and code shop, Jack Threads, which is the other sponsor of this episode of the Nerds Podcast, shopping for clothes sucks. And so Jack Threads will make that so much easier for you. You'll find the best gear and clothes that will not break any amount of money that you have wide open and leave you poor. It's a curated selection. They're brands you've heard of. They're brands you want to hear about. They have exclusive collaborations. I got some really great like the baseball style jerseys.
Oh yeah.
They're so soft. They're so great. Yeah, they're like I got like a sandy one, like a charcoaly one with like blue sleeves, so I can look like a giant child, which I like. But they're so comfortable. So Jack Threads has high quality clothing. It's a great value. There are stylists on call to make shopping a no-brainer. Just chat with Jill and she'll help you reach new heights of handsomeness. Get an additional 15% off by visiting jackthreads.com/Nerdist and entering the coupon code Nerdist at checkout. So on top of the already great prices, you're going to get that additional 15% over at jackthreads.com/Nerdist. Right now, it's Nerds Podcast number 663 with Sarah Colonna. Katie, you're right there. Start the thing.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
Just talking about Bar Rescue. I don't know if you watch it, Chris, but
Is that a Gordon Ramsay show?
no, it's John Taffer. Okay, on Spike TV. It's Bar Rescue. A couple weeks ago, I was watching it, and Sarah showed up to do some recon for John. Her good friend Sarah showed up to do some recon.
He's like, my good friend Sarah Colonna. I'm like, we've never met before. But
it was delightful.
It was
so
very
recon
delightful.
is when you go, before the rescue happens. You
Yeah.
go to see how bad this bar is.
You go
with
in
all
and
the,
you're like,
with all
"My
the
margarita
with all the
sucks."
hidden cameras, which are guys with fucking giant cameras.
Are
on
you
their
on the
shoulders.
show?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, she was.
no, I just love it. So, and like he and I have a Twitter relationship.
You and John Teffer?
Me and John Taffer.
Taffer.
Chris.
Taffer,
Oh, I'm
Chris.
sorry. I was thinking of John Teffer.
John Taffer.
Who
That's
does,
what he calls it.
Candy Bar Rescue, where he basically takes candy bars away from kids who won't appreciate them as much and eats them.
interesting.
to
I would watch that
make
show.
Sure that he-
You'd get into that, I think. If you're on a hiatus, you'd get into Bar Rescue.
I probably would actually, because I, like everyone else, enjoy watching rundown things get rehabilitated.
Oh yeah.
And
No
that's
one's
all
better than John.
No one's better.
Why is he great?
He's-
What makes him good?
Because he just knows the
He's
bar
on point.
business.
He knows the bar business. He's rescued over 800 bars and nightclubs.
What's involved with rescuing a bar?
Well,
You have to tell people how to make drinks.
Yep.
He is very professional. My favorite is the bartenders that take themselves so seriously. That guy Russell, there was like this guy Russell. One day he almost slipped behind the bar, and he's like, "That gonna ruin my career!" Like freaking out. And I was like, I think you just would have like slipped and been fine.
How did you guys start bonding over Bar Rescue?
well, she was on it. I was watching it a couple of weeks ago, and she showed up, and I was like, I can't imagine they're actually friends. I have to get to the bottom of this
No.
situation. But
I
Twitter
basi-
friends counts. That's
Yeah, I
friends.
basically said I want to come do recon, and he was like, "Absolutely." And
Yeah.
then I went to Orange County, and I like took drinks of margaritas that weren't good, and I was like, "John, this place, it's terrible."
Did you?
I made a lot of faces.
Did
is
you
basically.
rescue that bar?
They did not
He-
rescue that.
No,
bar.
he ended up walking out.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Really?
know. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because
the owner was-
they
So it was like Amy's Baking Company.
It was the Amy's Baking Company
Yeah.
of
Amy's Bar
Rescue.
Company?
Yeah, it was pretty
the
great.
guy was too lazy. He wasn't putting his time in.
Well, why open a bar if you're going to be lazy?
Well, he opened the bar, Taffer had already come and rescued it 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, this was the first bar he'd ever re-rescued.
So it was a recon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
And let me tell you, he had let it go to shit again and had opened another bar and was putting money into the other bar, not this new bar.
Was he being lazy in the new bar too?
From what I can tell, yes.
He said 2 other sports bars had opened up around him, and that was just like that was his reason. He was like, "There's these places are driving me out of business."
This is so funny though to me.
What is so funny to you about this?
What's funny to me about it is that because it always seems like the most obvious problems where someone's like, "I don't know why my bar is failing." Well, do your bartenders know how to make drinks? No. Is there a bathroom? I don't think so. You know, like maybe these places shouldn't be rescued.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why he ended up leaving this one.
Well, the
because
bar
they don't.
business
but sometimes
it's interesting, the bar business, because if you think back to like places you used to drink when you were in like college and stuff, it was like they were terrible places that you wouldn't.
Yeah, bars are like
think
comedy
of going.
clubs. Like they kind of need to be a little dirty to be.
Yeah.
Because there's something sort of naughty about it that makes it.
Yeah, but John Taffer, he knows the science of the bar business, like how high the taps should be, and he invented the butt funnel, which is
What the fuck is that?
I know what you're wondering what that is. That is a place of putting 2 about chest high standing bar tops in a bar that when you have to go through them you butt funnel and people's butts touch up against each
I
other.
don't remember that. I remember
remember
that
the butt
I
funnel?
remember him inventing it, but then I just remember, and then I'm thinking of butt chug with like people like.
People would drink
People in
through their
fraternities
ass.
drink
Yeah.
through their ass.
No, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very
To get drunk faster?
Yeah.
The
which
butt
makes
funnel is
no
just a
sense.
way of mingling. You know, it just
It sounds like a
it just
way
makes
of
people
mingling.
mingle. Your butts touch.
So
and then-
people take a silver bullet in the ass?
no.
Right in the asshole?
Basically.
John Taffer, you're invited to come on the Nerdist podcast anytime you want.
Oh, I mean,
I'm just
he's
inviting
the
him right
greatest.
now.
He yells at every. It's
need
really
gonna
fun.
yell
I
at
think
us?
you would like it. He wouldn't yell at you.
My favorite thing is
He
when
would yell at you only if you didn't know how to run a bar.
Yeah, and
Well, I don't.
Right, but you don't own one, so you're
That's
fine.
true.
And then when he yells, "Shut it down!" It's
Oh,
my
it's my
favorite
favorite.
thing. And like, sometimes in my
It's
head, I think
hashtag
that.
shut it down,
Yeah.
please. Thank you.
What are his qualifications?
The bar business, guy.
Well,
has many successful bars
He has
and
many
nightclubs.
successful bar. He's Vegas based.
Yes.
I learned, and I don't know. Did he own bars?
I feel like he owned many bars and opened many bars.
I know that he
Let's
opened.
see, he
many.
owns Titty Twisters and Laffer Taffers.
He owns Laffer Tapper,
and,
actually, would be
He owned the
Wonderful.
Titty Twister from
Titty
Dusk Till
Twister from
Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn. So, you got to clean out these vampires. That's your problem. These goddamn vampires.
Shut it down. That's what I in my head. That's what tells me to stop eating.
He did.
I just hear him saying, "Shut it down." Oh, Katie has
So that
some
is
information.
That is Candy Bar Rescue.
He started at the Troubadour in Los Angeles,
Did bar management at the Troubadour.
and then did Barney's Beanery, right?
He's credited with inventing the concept of the NFL Sunday ticket.
What?
Boom.
I didn't
Guy's
know
a
that.
fucking genius.
What's that?
It's where you can get every NFL game on DirecTV.
The butt funnel.
Yeah, it does. Butt funnel. At John Taffer, please follow me. Then I'll go do recon for you. Maria Menounos did recon. I feel like
I know she did, and that's actually the episode that made me go, well, if Maria Menounos can do it, I can do it. And then that's when I wrote it.
Matt, you could be on Bar Rescue.
Of course you can.
I want to go. I want to really get to the bottom of all
Taffer,
of
put
this.
Myra on your show,
Come on.
please.
It'll help you out. I have 90,000 followers.
We can go. Can we go together?
Yes. Oh my God.
Now that I'm a seasoned professional.
Taffer, do you see what you're doing? You're making Matt call out his Twitter follower count just to get on.
Well, I
your-
mean, he's got like a lot more than me. I'm just.
I mean, not really. If you
Yeah.
I mean, this is significant.
Yeah.
He needs it. He needs
Yeah.
it. The
What would
people-
you rescue if you had a TV show?
What kinds of things would I rescue? That's tough. I mean, I don't like poorly run television shows.
You would do TV
Might be
rescue.
a inside
I would
baseball.
I'd go in and like fix 2.5 Men. Oh, that's gone. Damn it!
You'd have to attach that to a lightning rod.
I would just yell at Chuck Lorre and
Don't they do a gym rescue now too? They do.
They do. Yeah, they do a gym rescue, and there's a new thing on.
Stop jerking
Spike.
off in the
It's weird.
showers.
I know.
There's a
It's
new thing
weird-
on Spike with what's his face? The murdering Baltimore Raven. What's his name?
Oh, why can't I think of it? I should know this.
Yeah, the one that was accused of.
And then he gets mad at other NFL players when they do bad things.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, but you got
Ray Lewis, yes. So Ray Lewis does this new thing called it's called Coaching Bad, which is essentially coach rescue.
What?
You go in and rescue these coaches who are bad at coaching.
But he
youth.
murdered someone?
Well, it's debatable.
Yeah, he got away with it. Well,
Someone died. He was involved.
Allegedly.
And now,
but-
just say allegedly so we don't get...
Allegedly, yeah.
no, he was involved. The cops put him there. I mean, that's not alleged. That's in the court records. But he got
Are
away
they
with
really,
it.
or
And
you're
then
just saying that?
no, I followed the case somewhat closely.
Well, just say allegedly.
Allegedly, I followed the case closely. And yeah, whatever. He gets on Tom Brady about his footballs being deflated when this guy's whatever. Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Anyway, if he wants to come rescue me, go for it.
So what would you rescue?
I don't know. Now I can't, because I get very irritated with bars myself, but that's already taken by John Tapper.
You can still do yours.
Not gonna do it
Can I
better.
just do bartender rescue, like just the people? Because I get really I bartended for so many years. I get so irritated when I go to a bar and there's no like peripheral vision and nobody's paying attention. Is that just me?
Is that deliberate though? I always think it's deliberate when they have no peripheral vision.
It's a little bit of a power play.
A little bit, but it's also, but they're not doing anything else. And so I feel like, because to me, I was always like, I was a really fast bartender because the faster people would drink, I would make more money.
Yeah.
Right? So
Seems logical.
I would think so. It's a very logical human being, I think, as a bartender anyway.
Not only would your turnover rate be higher, but then they would tip you more for being fast.
Yeah. And now it's about muddling drinks and wearing suspenders
You know what?
and
There's
stuff.
Tea room rescue.
Yes.
Are you guys either consumers of the Food Network's programming?
Not in a
I
while.
really watch the Food Network.
They have a show called Mystery Diners, which is a hidden camera show where they send in this guy who has a bunch of people that work for him, and they go in and secretly
Shop.
Yeah,
Like mystery shoppers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they do
Mystery
it at
Diners, and then
restaurants.
sometimes they're the staff. He puts one in as the staff, but it is the most poorly acted television program I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, no, I'm going to have to watch this.
You have to watch it. I hate watch it with love.
It's
Like-
worse.
Oh, it
It's
sounds
worse
so
than
good.
like a ghost reenactment show.
Much worse than a ghost reenactment show. I would put it on par with Lizard Lick Towing, like one of those.
Okay.
Have you ever seen I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant? Because the acting on that, like that
very
kind of
similar,
acting.
only
Okay.
worse.
Really?
Yes, and they play it off like it's real. It's the most insane thing ever. But I still watch it. I can't get enough of it.
I used to do mystery shopping
Did you really?
for hotels. It was awful.
And
yeah.
so
Do you watch Hotel Impossible?
I would. But now I'm thinking that could be my show.
I
know.
watched that. That was fun.
I had to call them. I've never seen that. No.
That's a good show. You should check it out.
I used to have to call them like from my living room, and I lived in this shitty 1-bedroom apartment, and I had no air conditioning, and I would have to have all my fans off because you had to record the conversation literally on like a tape recorder.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
And I would have to call and go through this checklist and make my reservation to see if they asked me all the proper questions. And so I would call these I was off for these 4 seasons in Ritz-Carlton, so I called all these amazing places and made all these fake reservations, and I was like, I'm never going to get to go to any of these places. I'm just going to have to sit.
Oh, you only got to
It was
do the
de-
reservation part?
Yeah.
So
it was
do you
super
act
depressing.
normal or do you act like a crazy person to force them to see how they deal with it?
I would act pretty normal because I didn't ever want anyone to like get in trouble really. So I would, unless they were rude to, every once in a while somebody would be kind of rude to you, but
And you would be like, you are fucking with the wrong shopper.
yeah, basically power trip.
Did you ever reveal yourself?
I got news for you. I'm a mystery hotelier.
The mystery has been revealed.
You're fired.
Did
I didn't
you
really get to
did
fire
you ever
anybody.
reveal yourself?
No, you couldn't. You just had to make the reservation and then you had to call back and cancel it. They gave you a fake credit card number and everything.
And my uncle does mystery shopping, and I had to help him with a presentation once where he called me and he was like, "You do voices." Because of cartoons, so
Yeah, sure. I mean, logical step. You do
but
voices.
they're like cartoon voices.
Yep.
But he was like, so for a presentation, I need you to be, salespeople, and I'm gonna pretend to mystery shop you. So it was almost like a reverse mystery. Anyway,
It was very sweet of you to help him.
and
out
I
with that.
did. So I would pretend to be a difficult. He'd call and ask questions, and I would be like, I don't know. The boss is out now. Never really talked to you in quite a while.
I know. I haven't seen you in a really long time.
Sarah and I, of course, knew each other from stand-up years ago.
Years ago.
Just doing the sort of, the kind of nomadic
Westwood-
open mic West
Westwood
comedy
Brew Co.
Yeah, sure.
scene.
Right, Westwood Brew Co.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? Yeah.
Still,
is that place still
well,
there?
no, the building is, but
The building.
But
is.
there's no business there anymore.
No.
There's no business there anymore.
no, they're opening.
Oh, that's right. Actually, for some reason I passed it.
I just saw they're opening something in there that sounds reasonable and national. But go ahead. I forget what it was.
All ankle socks, a shop devoted to just ankle socks.
I'd go there every day. You kidding me? Look at
would
this.
go
Look at
there.
these ankles. Come on.
Oh my God, you're wearing
You have
ankle
lovely
socks.
ankles.
Those are lovely ankles. So when did you and you worked on Chelsea
Yeah, I was writing on there.
for the whole time?
I wrote. I was just saying. I wrote there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then I left a year before the show ended. I left like the July 1 year before
To
they ended.
pursue your own stuff, or you got another job?
No, to do my own stuff. It just seemed like it had kind of run its course there for
Yeah.
me as far as writing.
You're just like, I'm a bestseller. What do I need this for?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Fuck this place. I was like, I'll make money.
Later, Kirkman.
Yeah. I could totally save that money for the rest of my life, that one tiny advance. No, I don't know. It was interesting there because like while I was there, I sold a show based on my first book, and I sold it to Adam Sandler's production company, and then I sold it, and then we sold it to NBC. It didn't get made, obviously, but I did that, and then there was like it got a little. It just seemed it was a little tough there after that. Like it seemed as if most things they kind of wanted to keep in house, and so when you did your own thing, which I totally understand, but I had known Chelsea.
I don't. I think it's great when people. I mean, like that's how you grow.
Yeah, I don't know if it really came from Chelsea so much as a couple other people in her company, but I felt like I don't want to work for my friend. I don't want her to have to sell everything. I wanted to do everything separate from her. I was like, this show is great. Obviously, I'm writing on the show and like, but I didn't have the job because I wasn't good at it. So it was like just one of those weird things where I felt like, okay, if I'm going to continue to do my own thing, I think I better leave here. Otherwise, I think people are going to get upset with me.
Right.
Yeah.
So off you went into the television business.
Off I went, yeah. And but it was good. I stayed on the. I mean, they really, it was great. I stayed on the round table, so I still got to go back just as much as I was on, to be on the show instead of writing for it. So it was really. It worked out fine, but it was nerve-wracking to leave a job.
Oh, it must have been so much fun to go back and like just as a panelist.
Oh my God, it was.
To
And
not
the
have to
other
worry about
writers
anything.
would come downstairs and they'd be like, "What's it like out there?" Like not
That's so
being
funny.
here every day.
I'm beyond the wall.
It was fun. It was nerve-wracking. And it's scary to leave anything like that. But luckily, as stand-up, you're like, okay, well, I have that. I know that I can go on the road and I know I can
Yeah,
work.
especially that I mean, like that.